Hey boys, it's HarmNone. Today we're going to be customizing the Ocelot Ardent in Grand Theft Auto Online. This vehicle is of course on sale this week. Now the last time that I actually went to record an Ocelot Ardent customization, I believe that I recorded the whole video and then found out that my mic was muted or that the recording didn't actually start when I told it to. So anyways, we're actually customizing it today, so that is very cool. This thing also has livery options available in the MOC and the Avenger, so we're going to go and get my MOC after and maybe put a livery on depending on what we go for with the customization. But anyways, as per usual, we're going to start off with the armor by going all the way up to 100% on that. For the brakes, we're going to do the exact same thing. And for the bumpers, we do have front and rear bumper options for this car. Now, my biggest problem with the Ardent, and I think the biggest drawback of this entire car, is the front plate on this thing. And not exactly even the front plate, just the size of the front plate. Something is weird, like the aspect ratio of the plate is like wrong. I don't like how it looks, but there's nothing we can do about it, sadly. Now for the bumper though, I don't know what I want to go for exactly. I do kind of like the secondary stock bumper. It actually looks pretty good. However, at the same time, the secondary sport bumper isn't bad as well. The tuner bumper is okay, and the secondary tuner bumper is actually maybe my favorite. So let's go for that one for right now. For the rear bumpers, we can go for the classic or keep it stock. I don't mind the classic. However, I think that the stock actually looks a little better, so I'm gonna keep the stock bumper. And for the engine tunes, we can upgrade this all the way. Of course, we're going to do that. Now for the engine cover itself, we can change this up as well and switch it to something completely different. Now, I personally kind of like the tuner cover. However, the stock engine cover isn't bad either. The dual vented isn't bad. You know what? I might have to go dual vented, to be honest. I kind of like the look of that. Let's do that. I think that looks, you know, pretty decent. Now for the exhaust, we can go for the oval exhaust or keep the dual exhaust. I think the dual looks a little better in my opinion, so I'm going to leave that alone. And for the fenders on this car, we can go for some plastic fenders or of course some secondary colored fenders as well. Now I believe the secondary color of the car runs through the middle here, and then obviously any secondary option will be affected by that as well. So we could do something with that. I don't think it's going to look super great, so I'm going to keep it stock for right now. We might change it later. We'll have to see. And for the hood itself, we can go for the smooth hood, the vented hood, of course, the dual vented hood, sport hood, tuner hood, and of course the deep vented hood as well. I think that I kind of like the tuner hood the best. However, I don't know, the stock hood's not bad, but I think that the tuner hood just looks the best, so I'm going to go for that one. And for the lights on this thing, we are going to go xenon for sure. Neon kit, I feel like a neon kit would actually work for this car. I feel like it's kind of a unique car, kind of a special car. I'm going to go ahead and put the neon on, but I'm not going to change the color. I'm just going to leave it alone. For the plate, we are going to go yellow on black, which is going to maybe make the front one look a little better. No, not really. Okay, awesome. Now for the color of this vehicle, I do have my new crew color that we could potentially go for here. But I just used that on the Furia, so I don't really want to use it again. This car definitely is going to look good in like a bright color, like potentially a Torino red, something like that. Maybe even like a candy red. Oh, why does Cabernet red look? Yeah, no, you know what? We're going to go Cabernet red today. I think that that's going to be a very good look for this car. Now, yeah, the secondary color does affect all of that sort of stuff. So I'm wondering about... what about going for like a white or something for the second? Not thinking that's too hot. What if we went for a different red though? What if we matched it up with like a sunset red or something like that, just to kind of switch up the colors a little tiny bit? It's not a super good look, to be honest. I think we might end up just keeping it black. I think that that's going to be our best bet. We are going to remove the pearlescent off of the Cabernet red though, I think. I don't know, it actually looks super good with the pearlescent. I guess we'll keep it. We might as well. Why not? We'll leave it alone. Now for the spoiler, we do have the classic spoiler, the tuner spoiler, and of course the secondary tuner spoiler as well. I think the classic spoiler is the best by far. Let's go for that option today. For the suspension, we are going to lower this car down as much as possible. This is another vehicle in GTA that has a super transmission option, so that is pretty cool. Let's go ahead and throw that on the car to get those lightning fast shifts. And the turbo tuning, of course, we got to do that as well. Now for the wheels on this car, this is going to be a hard choice. I feel like something within the sport category would not be too bad. I feel like low profiles kind of work with this car. Like, I wish we could get a little more tire than this, but at the same time, we can't. So we just kind of have to deal with it. I was going to say, I feel like endos would look really good on this car. And honestly, they're not bad, but they're not my favorite either. So I don't know about those. The S Racers aren't bad either. The S Racer's definitely pretty high up on my list. The Mercy as well could definitely be on my list. What about under street wheels? Let's see. Is there anything in here that would... Well, the Mercy concaves in here, of course they're catching my attention today. What about endo dished? They're not terrible, honestly. I feel like they actually kind of work with the car pretty well. Could go for that. The Mega Mesh, they look pretty good too. You know, I don't typically do it, but I think the endos honestly are going to look really good with this. So let's do that. What do they look like in black? They definitely don't look bad. What about like stone silver? What about a white? What about a midnight purple? Oh, you know what? I don't hate the midnight purple. There's kind of too much going on though, I feel like at the same time. Might just have to go for a regular black, I think. I think it's just going to look the best. Let's do it. Bulletproof the tires for sure. Let's do that as well. Windows, we're going to tint those all the way out. This thing's looking mean. I really like how this has turned out. Not a bad looking car whatsoever. The endos work with it pretty well actually, so I'm happy to see that. Let's go ahead and take it outside. Let's call my MOC. Let's bring it over there and check out these livery options that we have, and then of course we'll get into the sound test and the review of the car. Okay, now let's hop into the MOC quickly and modify this vehicle, of course. Okay, and we have the livery options here. Now, I think it's all going to be probably camos, if I'm not mistaken. If we see something that we like, of course, we could potentially go for it. So we'll see if there's anything. Yeah, there's nothing that I really find that great with it. The basic camo is like kind of cool, almost, but yeah, unfortunately, the livery stuff is not that special. So let's leave the MOC, and of course, we got to get into the review on the car as well as do the sound test. So let's quickly take a listen to the vehicle here when we get outside. So it doesn't sound particularly amazing. It doesn't sound really special at all. I'm pretty sure most cars in GTA that aren't unique engine sound wise probably use a sound very, very similar to the Ocelot Ardent. That was really nice. I got a huge FPS drop right as I went around that corner, which caused me to crash into that tree, which was that was really sweet. I actually really enjoyed that. Oh, okay. Anyways, the Ocelot Ardent, cool feature about this car, it does come with front-mounted machine guns. By default, you do not even have to upgrade them on the vehicle, so that is pretty awesome, actually. Now, unfortunately, with the machine guns, they don't do a ton of damage. It is going to take you some time to actually take out a vehicle. If a civilian is driving it or something like that. These I think are the exact same machine guns as the Night Shark, if I'm not mistaken, which means they're going to take quite some time to actually neutralize the target. Obviously, I've just eliminated this benefactor Serrano and this poor lady that was driving it, but yeah, the machine guns, they're not very good. So while it is an armed vehicle and that feature is very nice to have, not the most useful feature ever, I would say, because unfortunately the machine guns are pretty much terrible. But I must say, the Ocelot Ardent is a very unique car in the fact that this thing is armed and it's actually really fun to drive. This car is super fast in a straight line, it has great acceleration, and the handling is also pretty amazing. I would say that this is actually a great handling car. It does have a degree of maybe some understeer, however, I don't really count it as understeer. I don't think. I think that the front wheels just have like a perfect amount of grip. Now, could it turn in slightly more? Yes, but I don't necessarily think that it's understeer. I think that it's just, the car's maxed out at its turning, and that's fine. It handles phenomenally well. You can go around pretty much any corner as fast as you want in the Ardent, and it's going to go relatively well for you, as long as obviously it's not like a 90-degree corner and you're fishtailing coming into the corner or something crazy like that. But on corners like this right here, the vehicle is pretty planted. Like, it sticks to the ground very nicely. It handles the curves really well. You can, you know, just glide up these mountain roads. It's really awesome to drive. This thing is super sick. I really do respect the Ocelot Ardent, and I think that it's such an underrated car. So while it's on sale this week, guys, I would highly recommend picking this thing up. Now, if you're watching this in the future when the car is not on sale, I would still say the Ocelot Ardent is a great vehicle to pick up. Like I mentioned before, this thing is armed with front-mounted machine guns. Yes, they do no damage, but it is still very nice to have, and the performance of this vehicle overall, I would say, is absolutely phenomenal for the price. If you guys have never had an Ocelot Ardent, I highly recommend picking one of these things up in Grand Theft Auto Online. And with that being said, guys, I think that's pretty much it for the Ardent customization and review. I know this was kind of a shorter one, but honestly, I have nothing bad to say about this car. It's fantastic in every single way. Definitely pick this thing up if you guys are interested. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed, dislike if you didn't, of course. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, and I will see you all in the next video. Until then, take care. Peace.